Welcome back. Now we have discussed about fuel air cycles. Before that we have discussed about air standard Otto cycle and air standard diesel cycle. Now the theoretical cycle based on actual properties of the cylinder gas is called fuel air cycle because in actual engine inside the engine cylinder there is a mixture of air and fuel. So depending upon the actual properties of the gas which is present inside engine cylinder, that is mixture of air and fuel, that cycle is called as what? Air fuel cycle or fuel air cycle. It provides a rough idea for comparison with actual performance. The air standard cycle gives an estimate of engine performance which is much greater than actual performance, because in air standard cycle all the assumptions are standard assumptions. We have to consider ideal gas, we have to consider there is no any friction, we have to consider there is a constant mass throughout the cycle, we have to consider there is no any change in specific heat. So these are the all standard assumptions. Due to that, whatever the performance of engine is much greater than the actual performance. For example, actual indicated thermal efficiency of a petrol engine of compression ratio may be 7:1 is in order of 15%, whereas air standard efficiency is in the order of 54%. That means if we consider the air standard efficiency, that efficiency is 54%, and in actual if we consider the indicated thermal efficiency of an actual engine is near about 15% for the compression ratio 7:1. So the main reason of divergence is oversimplification in using the values of properties of working fluid for the cycle analysis, non-instantaneous burning and fall operation and incomplete combustion. So there are the some reasons due to that there is a deviation of efficiency or performance of actual cycle from air standard cycle. In air cycle assumptions or approximations, we have assumed the air is a perfect gas having constant specific heat, but in actual engine the working fluid is not air but mixture of air and fuel and some amount residual gas, that is smoke. Furthermore, specific heat of working fluid are not constant but increase with increase in temperature, and at high temperature the combustion products are subject to dissociation. So these are the number of reasons due to which actual cycle performance is low than the air standard, because in actual cycle always there is some loss, always there is a friction, always there is some dissociation. Due to that the performance is less. Now for the analysis we have to consider some assumptions. So assumptions made for fuel air cycle. So first assumption is prior to combustion there is no chemical change in either fuel or air. Before the combustion there is no any chemical change in fuel or air. Second is subsequent to combustion the change is always in chemical equilibrium. Next is there is no heat exchange between the gases and the cylinder wall in any process. That is, processes are adiabatic. In addition, expansion and compression processes are frictionless. That is, during the each and every process, that may be suction, compression, expansion or exhaust, there is no any heat loss from cylinder to surrounding. That is, all the processes are adiabatic processes. Again the expansion and compression process is frictionless. Next, in case of reciprocating engine, it is assumed that fluid motion can be ignored inside the cylinder. Next assumption, the burning takes place instantaneously at TDC. That means when piston reaches TDC position, instantaneously, that is within a fraction of second, the combustion of fuel takes place. So this is the assumption. Next assumption, the fuel is completely vaporized and perfectly mixed with the air. That means inside the engine cylinder, the mixture is always homogeneous. So this is our assumption, but practically the homogeneous mixture is impossible. Always the mixture is heterogeneous. But we have to assume for the analysis purpose, the mixture is homogeneous and completely vaporized and properly mixed with air. Next is factors considered for fuel air cycles. So the first factor is in actual composition of the cylinder gases contain fuel, air, water vapor. In air and residual gas, during the operation of engine, fuel air ratio changes, which changes relative amount of carbon dioxide, water vapor, etc. Next factor is variation of specific heat of gases with the temperature rise. So specific heat increases with temperature except for monoatomic gases. So we have to always consider this factor. So as the temperature of any gas increases, its specific heat increases. Next factor is the effect of dissociation. The fuel air mixture does not completely combine chemically at high temperature, that is above the 1600 Kelvin. Therefore, at equilibrium conditions of gases like carbon dioxide, hydrogen, oxygen may be present. Next factor is variation in the number of molecules. The number of molecules present after combustion depends upon the fuel air ratio and upon the pressure and temperature after combustion. So the number of molecules after combustion may be increases or may be decreases, depend upon the fuel air ratio, upon the pressure and temperature after combustion. Next, the actual composition of the cylinder gases. The air fuel ratio changes during the engine operation. This change in air fuel ratio affects the composition of the gases before combustion as well as after combustion, particularly the percentage of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, water vapor in exhaust gases. In four-stroke engine, fresh charge enters the engine cylinder, comes in contact with the burn gases left in the clearance space of the previous cycle, that is called as what, residual gas. So the amount of exhaust gases varies with speed and load on the engine. Fuel air cycle account the results are computing using combustion chart. Today this type of analysis is done using computer. Next is variation of specific heat of gases. The specific heat of any substance is the ratio of the heat required to raise the temperature of a unit mass of substance through 1 degree centigrade. In case of gases, temperature can be raised in two ways, either at constant pressure or at constant volume. Accordingly, we have two specific heats, that is specific at constant pressure Cp and specific at constant volume, that is CV. In general, specific heats are not constant. The specific heat varies largely with temperature, but not so significantly with pressure except at high pressure.